what's been interesting to me is I'm going to be interested to see if basketball, especially in this era with the internal money being involved, how important will roster? What's become important in college football is roster retention.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State was able to keep its critical players, roster retention.
Yeah.
Drew Aller, Nick Singleton, Katron Allen. You're going through the long, Dennis Sutton. You keep going through the long list of guys they were able to keep right this season, right, for the upcoming year, where each one is announcing, you're like, going, oh, man, that's big. Ooh, that's big. That's big, right? Well, for all the attention Ohio State got with Caleb Downs and Will Howard and Simmons, the left tackle who got hurt and couldn't play, the vast majority of that team was roster retention. A big story with Notre Dame as to where they got was their older players' roster retention. Okay? And I've just told you about 3 of the Final 4.
Yeah.
Where roster retention meant everything to them. Texas, close to the same thing. I mean, close.
Yeah.
How do you heck do you think you're keeping Arch Manning around? Now, he doesn't need it, I don't think. But
you're able to keep him.
You're able to keep him. Quinn Ewers gets an extra year. Technically he was a freshman. I mean, it was a transfer.
That was a whole thing.
Yeah, the whole deep dive, and again the same story where just there's a bunch of people out there that don't know what they're talking about. Well, look, he's going to start for him. Like, he's never going to make it past the scout team. Right? And of course, they look at you like you don't know anything. You're like, going, who's he moving past? Right? I said he's only going to be there a half a year. Oh no! I'm like, okay. Then you never hear from these people again, and because you're just trying to tell them what you know and what the facts are. It'll be interesting to see the roster retention if now this money translates into roster retention on the basketball level. It has not yet. It has not.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, all the starting lineups of the Sweet 16, it is not translated into roster retention. Indiana gets Ware from Oregon. They get Ballo from Arizona to come in. They've done all these temporary fixes with the transfer portal. Now, Mbako was a guy they kept for a while. He's in the portal now. Renew was a guy they kept for a while. He's in the portal now. Right? That team's going to change over dramatically. I mean, Tucker DeVries is going to be the one running the show there.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year when he was at Drake. Okay. But this is the way it is right now. And it's not as if transfers have always played a role, and even here. I mean, one of the beloved players here in Penn State history is John Amaechi. Well, John transferred in from Vanderbilt. Glenn Secunda decided to transfer from Syracuse to Penn State. He made an incredible impact on what's going on here, at Penn State. I mean, so it's not like that's in the 90s that Penn State was able to get a couple of key transfers that were critical of what they're doing. It is going to be a far more difficult era in college basketball to go the player development route. You hope you can, and that's where roster retention money comes in, where you can take a Caden Mingo, for example, and develop him, right, who comes in already with what looks like a great base to start with, and then develop him into a really terrific college basketball player. Right? And you're hoping you can get more to that level where at least some of your roster can be developed. But everywhere you turn, like the pressure's to win now, to win today. That's why when I hear things during the season, I don't understand why he's not playing the kids. Oh, I don't know, because those guys there give you the best chance to win. Your goal is to win. Okay, it's to win today. Hey, it's not okay with the transfer portal. You're not out there playing cards for tomorrow. You can't. Nobody in their right mind does that.
No.
Right? It's not the 1990s anymore where, okay, he's ready to play now. right? I mean, things are different from way back when. Joe Crispin's the point guard. Brandon Watkins is the backup. Does B. Watt stay here, or does he transfer in this current era while he's waiting for Joe Crispin? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And I think the last time I talked to him was 2 years ago. He's coaching now. But these are the things that you deal with today that you never had to deal with before. Why do you think all these guys are getting out? Prominent guys are getting out. And do I think Miles Goodman has some talent? Yeah. Do I think he is behind in his growth as a basketball player right now? Yes. Because of all the time he missed. I mean, he missed months.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean he missed a couple of months. He missed months. Okay? Where he's not out there practicing. He's not out there lifting weights because he couldn't. Well, so now you're starting way behind, and then you're getting disappointed you're not playing as much. Well, there's a reason you're not playing as much. And believe me, do I personally like the kid? I sure do. It's an incredibly nice kid, right? So he's going to put his name. You can't teach somebody who's 6'11", 6'10", and 6'11".
Can't teach height, can't teach speed.
Right. And because of all the missed time in practice, because of all the missed time in the weight room, he's got a ways to go. But he's got the part you can't teach. And it's not as if he doesn't have some skill to him. He does have some skill.
Yes.
But he's very raw right now. And there'll be somebody out there that will look at him, and I don't blame them. Absolutely. But because he's in the portal, does it mean the sky's falling? No. Right? You just have to go out and find some players.
Yeah.
Right? You got to find more Puff Johnsons. You got to,
DeMarco Duns.
More Yannick Conan Niederhausers. More DeMarco Duns. You got to go out and find those guys. Okay? Because guess what? Everybody else is out trying to find those guys. I mean, you look at Ohio State, a guy like Bruce Thornton staying there the entire time. Phenomenal. But who was one of the key guys they brought in? Parrish. Oh, by the way, who's their starting center? Akpara a year ago. Where's he now? Oh, looks like he's at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing people. And they're losing experienced people. Akpara was the starting center for Ohio State. He's now starting at center for Tennessee.
Cliff Omorui.
Cliff Omori was at Rutgers, and he's at Alabama now.
He's starting at center.
Right? Okay? It's just, that's the way it is. And that program is one where I sit back and go, okay, you bring in two of the absolutely top flight recruits in the country. And that's the record you got?
Oh boy, Rutgers.
And that was not a program beset with injuries. Okay? Now you're looking at the game the other night. In fact, you're going to watch the game coming up. Who's defending John Tanji on the final play of the game for BYU?
Who?
Mawat Mag.
Oh, where was he?
Rutgers.